as you may have guessed, this started as a musical device. And the problem we are solving is the fact that people cannot.
Can we have one meeting? Please.
The pain point I noticed was the fact that we are not able to get our brains into the mobile device. We're able to download things. We're able to be entertained. We get lots of data that will tell us things about ourselves. But the value of computing, as Steve Jobs said, is that the computer is a bicycle for the mind. We need to put pedals on that bicycle. And I think, as you can tell from looking at me now, that I believe in keyboards. I really like mice and keyboards, and I will be sticking with that. We are prisoners of something that happened 140 years ago that was a set of unfortunate circumstances that led us to be horizontal typers on something that doesn't easily convert into anything else. And we are still that when we pull out our laptop to be down at Starbucks. If we are on our phones, we can tweet a little, we can do some texting. We really aren't going to write a 10-page legal brief or design a transmission. We have seen people try to solve this by walking around with a laptop, which takes one arm out of service, or by using a tablet as a typing keyboard, which gives you no tactile feedback and doesn't use any muscle memory. What people said back when phones looked like this, they said, what we need is a Swiss Army computer. Now that we have the phone, it really is almost that, because you can run anything on it and it has colossal computing power. And now that we have head-mounted displays, we can bring our display off that and not have the size of the device dictate how much we can see. We have several outfits competing for our attention in the head-mounted display area. In order to do more input, we've been asked to try various things like the gestures, touchscreen, cordless keyboard, speech recognition, etc. Now, speech recognition is really great, but you can't edit on it. I've had speech recognition on my home computer for about 15 years, probably more. Trained it well, it works great, but then you've got to go back and be a real writer to make it all happen. So it seems we have a trade-off. We can either be mobile or we can be productive. But as we increase one, we lose the other. And people are in need of something that takes the way they are built and the way their nervous system works and makes it possible to enter things. These gentlemen live at the British Museum of Natural History, showing us how much bandwidth our brains goes to our fingers. And it's a whole bunch of it. And if we think that we're going to match that with voice recognition or some sort of gesture, it's going to be very difficult to come close to that anytime soon. We have a lot of tactile feedback we count on, and a lot of muscle memory, and being able to feel where keys are. These gentlemen are having no trouble remembering where their fingers are. They never look at their fingers. They're on the other side of the device. All they needed was a little bit of practice. Like your first typing teacher taught you, don't look at your fingers. You'll be better at this faster. This is also true for these gentlemen who you may have seen before. They might need to look at their fingers to find out if they're at the right end of the neck. The concertina is the way music went mobile. You didn't take a pipe organ with you in your wagon when you went across Europe. You were able to put little keys next to each other and hold the thing much more conveniently. Here are some content providers walking through the streets, and they are able to do this without sitting down and opening up anything flat at all. We are built this way, and they have shown with game controllers that they can really lay it out so that the physical human can deal with this. They responded to the way we are built, and we have not responded that way in mobile yet. Notice there are usually 2 or 3 keys that you use with your fingers, and the rest of it happens with your thumbs because you're used to thumbs, but they haven't really used the rest of the fingers on the other side there. This is the way we catch and hold our food. This is the way we manipulate the rest of the world. This is a very natural position for us. So I present to you that we could have a typing keyboard, a musical instrument, and an AR game controller. Back to the Swiss Army knife approach. This is my friend Gwen showing you how it's used with the head-mounted display. In order to do this, we need to take apart what we have, to saw the laptop into little pieces. And that will give you something like I am wearing now, which worn around the neck gives you 48 keys on the front, a phone and various other controls on the back, and then opens up so you can use it on a horizontal keyboard at Starbucks if you'd like to, and then tuck it away, have your hands free when you want to deal with a patient or the bus or whatever you need to do there. I am presuming that we should probably start on a Kickstarter and have a hackable version of this, made out of extrusions and silicon rubber keyboards so that we can vary the width of it and maybe have a Galileo board inside or other Arduino or Edison things that you've heard about earlier today, which are really magnificent advantages these days. So that we would have a better trade-off. Now, instead of having to trade off mobility for productivity, we could get most of both from one device. The company is a Delaware corporation. I have bootstrapped it so far with my friend Gwen there giving feedback and graphic support and some communication support. I have experience in design, and I've worked with the design firm that has quoted the industrial design for this, IDE, over in Scotts Valley. Very good with wearable devices. Competition is failing to solve the problem. Okay, I'm done. 30, I do.
Nice. This is overtime. How much you get overtime?
Then I'm done.
Well, you know what I'm going to say, so I'll start with Darwin.
Well, first of all, thanks for your presentation. There's one thing that I'm still struggling to understand. Well, first of all, is who are your users, and who are your target users, and how many of those target users do you talk to, and what's their feedback?
The feedback from the general public is that they don't need one. The feedback from the people who need to enter content, like the BlackBerry crowd, lawyers, people like that, who need to be cranking out billable hours while they're waiting for a claim, is they want one. There are various bloggers who also want it. The target audience, to answer your question, are people who actually have to get a job done and create content without stopping to sit down.
And how many have you talked to? How many have you
Interviewed formally 3 or 4.
So my gut thinking is that if, I don't know if there are any lawyers here, would you wear one of those? Right,
Okay.
so it's important to talk to your users, understand your users, bring that prototype, it's fantastic, that's the first step. Next step is talk to your user, understand the things, understand it, and then after the lawyer, we wear it, and then start, moving to the next step.
Right.
See, this is a classic example when you entrepreneurs over-explain the obvious and under-explain what needs to be explained. We were 5 minutes and 3 seconds into the presentation, I was talking about that typing is hard. Yeah, duh, we know that. You can say that in the first 10 seconds. Typing on a mobile device is hard. Got it. Now tell me how you're solving it. How is it different? What's better about it? What price point you can sell it? Who do you interview? If you haven't gone out and talked to 100 people and have at least 20% of them salivating to open the wallet, don't spend all your time, life, and energy. If anything, I'm sad to see as a good-looking, young, energetic man, smart guy, wasting his life over something without any market research. Hello?
Thanks for that.
Thank you, Tom.